midnight haze, chasing shadows in the darkest maze. Footsteps echo in the empty hall, mysteries waiting on our call. Bigfoot stomping through the pines, aliens sending secret signs. EVPs in the dead of night, ghosts dancing in the pale moonlight. Paranormal 411, we bring it to you. Truth behind the veil, gotta pursue you.
Good evening.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. So tonight we decided to do something a little different, something we haven't done.
A little bit different. Well, we've done it before, but not just set. We had a rhythm,
Yeah.
We had a guided paper.
That we would talk from.
Yeah.
Give us notes.
So we're just going to talk from the hip.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, what we're trying to do is, talk with you. And maybe if y'all have any questions or anything that you have, we will talk about them. Or you want to talk about anything paranormal? Right?
Anything
Paranormal.
cryptids, ghosts.
Yeah, you have any questions, just, throw them up there. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about the paranormal.
Yeah.
Right?
Howdy, baby girl.
Hello. Yes, at least I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Jason?
Doing well.
Yep. Well, we're glad you're doing good.
Glad to see you back.
Yes. Yep. Overly overstoked Oscars is here. Look at this.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So what do you want to start off with? I know you had something that you want to kind of
Yeah, I
start
want
off
to talk
with.
about just like the origins of paranormal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it started getting noticed and things like that.
Okay.
But and it's things like ghosts and spirits. It's not a recent invention. It's been around since the dawn of man, I guess.
That's awesome, Stephen. We're glad you got that.
A lot of its origins are intertwined with the development of the human culture, religion, psychology. It's not one single point of origin. It's a few things together. So the concept, it's evolved over time from ancient beliefs and human attempts to explain the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So it has evolved. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think that when you look out throughout time, you see people talking about this, right? The occult. Now that's called the occult. But every religion has it, right? All religions have it.
Yeah.
and even people who claim to not be religious still have some beliefs of some sort, usually. But I mean, when it comes down to it, everybody had something that usually scared them when they was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Most of us did. And a lot of times we learned to block it and then lost the ability to do it by doing it. And so, but I believe that, when it comes to the paranormal, everybody's had things happen to them, and there's no way that we couldn't. There's a lot of bad to be said about, well, I won't say bad, but a lot of things to be said about, say, the Warrens.
Yeah.
Think that a lot of things were kind of overly done, overly, hyped up, I guess you would say. But they did one thing that was really great, though. They brought this out to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Where everything in their eyes were demons, though, it was kind of crazy. I was listening to their grandson talk to this morning before I went to work. And, where they wanted to say everything was demons. I think that when we see these things, we experience these things, we also experience them with our cultures,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So whatever it is you believe, how you've been raised, all these things kind of come together and then focus in on what it is that you understand of these things, right? So if you've been raised in, a lot of Abrahamic religions, you're going to go to these darker entities because these are the things that you've been taught that stuff like this is. And so, you know, we color these things with our experiences and stuff like that. But I think that through studying them, doing what we do and going out and investigating and getting evidence, you actually start seeing a different picture.
Yeah.
You start seeing what I don't know. It's hard to explain sometimes because I don't I mean, we all know it's not, well, we can't say no. No is a big word. We all believe that it's more than one type of thing. There's definitely more than one type of entities out there.
Yeah.
You have residual energies that have nothing, but then, there's a lot of other things that may play into this that we don't even have any clue about
Mhm.
when it comes to the paranormal.
Well, when it first, like I was saying, pre-literate times when
Mhm.
people, couldn't read or write, um, they done this. It was called ancestor worship.
Mm-hmm. There's still some places that do
Yeah.
that. Hey, Susan, haven't seen you in a while.
And that arose from the natural process of people grieving and trying to understand death
Yes,
and, you know, early humans observing the absence of a loved one's body.
right,
So they may have rationalized it in their head that the person's spirit or soul continues to exist,
right,
which I think it does.
right. I like
Um,
what Stephen says too. Our minds are kind of domesticated and we've not been able
yep.
to use them to the fullest. I think that's really good because we don't believe the same as we did, like Jason's talking about way back then, before a lot of these things that we know of today, scientific things that we know of today, you know, kind of seem to roadblock sometimes because we're wanting to come up with explanations for things even when there is no explanation for certain things as of yet.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that roadblocks things.
Yeah. I've personally been through that when I was younger. I
Mhm.
was scared of the dark so bad.
Right.
And I would scream and go on, say I would see things and hear keys and stuff rattling outside. And I was just told by people and reverends too that it was just my imagination.
Right.
So I kind of blocked that off.
Right. Yep.
And now it's starting to, the more I do this, the more it opens back up.
Yep. Yep. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife could attest to that with what happened to her, So, um, what go up a couple because there's some people on Facebook, so I'm not getting the Facebook stuff on my side. What was it? One down a little bit, down right there. What does he say? He said, "You're exactly right. As someone that has been raised Baptist, I rebelled against what I was taught and have ran into a lot of stuff." And that's what happens. I mean, I was the same way. I was raised in it was a very strict Christian home. We didn't have our first TV till I was a teenager, and because it was of the devil. And literally, I went to Christian private school. We went to church every day. The door was open. Um, Prayer at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. I mean, I wasn't allowed to have a friend unless they went to church with me. So I understand, and at a young age, for me, having always been able to see entities.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, been able to always see these things. Um, made it hard for me to believe some of the things that were said, in Sunday school and stuff like that. And so I started second guessing things a long time ago. I was really young when I started going, it just doesn't seem right, you know?
Yeah.
So Steven says couldn't play Pokemon or any of the other card games.
Well, I tell you what, I had a Motley Crue poster I hung up on the wall. You
Mhm.
talking about all hell breaking loose.
Really?
Yes. I was whipped, ripped, punched. That shit came down.
For a Motley Crue poster.
For a Motley Crue poster.
That's played on WIMZ now.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's funny.
That's when I started listening to Freakazoid robots. Please report to the dance floor.
That's funny. I don't know. For me, when it comes to this stuff, though, it hits home a little closer just because of the fact that I've always had happen to me that's happened, right? And so with that, I've always known something else was there. So when people were like, talking bad about different things. Hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy? Beyond the veil. Yes.
We're going deep beyond the veil.
That's right. And if you want to talk about anything, do like Steven and everybody else, just shout stuff out and we'll talk about it. Yes, a paranormal discussion. I think with me being able to see these things my whole life, I've had an insight that a lot of people, some believe they want. Hey, Jason. But I think that if a lot of people got it, they wouldn't want it. It's like, I've told the story about my wife a couple of times, but she opened herself up. It took some time, but it was a lot of meditating and stuff. And she opened herself up and something talked to her one day and she thought she was losing her mind. Literally, I was on the road and she called me crying and I mean, just crying. And I had to calm her down and I had to say, your problem is that you're trying to rationalize things that are non-rational. You can't rationalize these things that aren't rational, first of all, because you will drive yourself crazy doing that. I learned this at an early age, though, right?
It's human nature.
It is. You've got to go against that.
Yeah. It's hard to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, Jason?
Steven says he's been saying for a while, and even on our show, that the veil is definitely thinning.
I believe it. I mean, I do believe that it is thinning. Jason Finch says he's getting his online courses to become a caregiver. Oh, that's awesome.
Good.
Yep. Yeah, things do take a while, Jason. But I mean, that's the thing that when anybody could do this. We've had on, how many psychics have we had on the show that says anybody could do what they do? You just got to put in the time, right?
Yeah.
And the effort. And the thing is that when you're wanting to do that, first of all, us living in the South, you're not worshiping Satan and you're not going to hell.
It talks about, it talks about, I don't know, casting demons out in the Bible.
Well, look,
but it's not a demon. Everything's not demons.
Right. Very few are.
Yeah, I was too, Oscars.
The problem I have is that when you open yourself up, you're going to get what you ask for. If you really want it, you're going to get it. But you need to be mentally prepared for what it is that you're going to get. And the same thing goes for anybody that goes out and goes investigations. Jason, you as an example, when we had our very first one, when you first heard that first EVP, what went through your mind? I mean, besides the aftermath of you saying you're not coming back to my house for a couple of weeks, I mean, really, what went through your head? Because, some of these people may be wanting to do stuff like that. But when you come in something skeptical, and look, healthy skepticism is always good. Be skeptical, right? Yeah. Don't believe everything everyone tells you. Do the homework. Find out answers for yourself. You could use other people for springboards, but do the research.
Really, when that happened, my stomach came up to my throat, and I was just, I don't know, it felt like when you get cold chills, but it really wasn't a cold chill. It was like a numbing, like the feeling of dread. Have you got that before? Yeah. Just something like that, because I was scared, and that's what happened to me. And I told David, I got to go, David, because I was feeling dread. Thought it was going to kill me.
Yeah. But that's coming from a fully skeptical mind, and then getting shown something.
Yeah.
And then your mind went through a rationalization process, didn't it?
Once your brain realizes, hey, this stuff is real. I mean, it's
not fake.
It can, that first time can be pretty rough.
Yeah.
But after that, I wanted more. I want to know more about the afterlife. I wanted to know.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of our shows, for a minute, started going towards the afterlife. What happens afterwards, and
near-death experiences,
NDEs and all those kinds of things. But that's just shows how your mind kind of clicks, because once you realize, wait, I was just shown something. I was there, right? Your mind goes, I was there. This wasn't faked. What else can I get into? What else do we need to know? Right. Can I find out what happens after life? After death? Is there life after death?
Yeah. Steven says he needs to take us to the old haunted places he used to go to as a teen. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm all for it. I'm busy this Saturday, but I'm telling you.
Baby girl says you need to know there's a good and evil in the things you can ask for. Remember, everything is listening. Be clear who you're talking to, or you may get something you'll regret. That's true.
Well, on that, baby girl, we go back to, just to put it in simpler and easier ways of thinking of this, we go into tools, right? So if you're scrying, if you're using the dowsing rods, if you're using a Ouija board, all these things, you are becoming the conduit for spirit to talk through you through these objects, right? So you're allowing these things to take somewhat control to be able to communicate, right? So you're right when you're talking about those things, and knowing how to properly open, properly close, and to keep yourself separated to where you're not bringing things back in with you. I really do believe that, what you said, it's definitely true. And, you just have to be mindful when you do these things, not to just do it. Parker Brothers has the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a game. It is real. It is as real as going to a place and doing EVP work and coming out with EVPs. Exact same thing, just a different method. Same thing with any of these, older type of things that we use to investigate ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Steven says the old haunted bridges and haunted barn, and a lot of crazy things have happened at Webb's store in Polk County, which is just down the road from the Higdon Hotel. I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of crazy things, huh?
That's interesting. Well, we'll have to try to see if we can go there sometime.
The biggest, craziest thing that you've ever told me is that dog. Remember the dog and the something crushed it?
Oh, yes.
Head? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Susan, old building.
Don't just open yourself all the way up and welcome all. You have to
block and protect yourself. Baby girl Casper says. That's a fact. Yeah, you have to protect yourself. And but you also have to be open to to have these conversations too.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're right, overstoked Oscars. You do have to give them permission on some things. We went and investigated a place again. We're not allowed to say that, they don't want us to say where it was. But after a show, what was it, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Jason?
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. And it was in Madisonville. This is the second time we've got to go. We went with Susan and Eddie, and there's quite a few other people there. They were there before we were because we went after, we did our Saturday night show. And we just did some EVP work. Nothing really major that night. And I've never had anything follow me home. Our house has never had any activity, period. I mean, we keep this place saged, and, we try to only have good thoughts while we're here in this house. We try not, me and the wife, rarely have any, fights or anything, even as far as that goes. But, so our house is usually a very good vibration here. We've lived here for 6 years and never had any kind of activity here. But after that night, that night, period, we came back home. What was it, about 12 o'clock when we got done and we left? We came back home, wound down just a little bit, went to bed. The wife and I did. And I'm sleeping. The wife sleeps on the opposite side of the bed. We have a big king size bed. So she sleeps on 1/2 acre and I sleep on the other 1/2 acre. And, the cats are laying down kind of in between us, but the baby dog she's in her bed, and that's it. Everything's quiet in the house. It's probably about 2 o'clock at night or in the morning. Something happens that has never happened in this home. And it was interesting. I had woke up for whatever reason. I don't even know why, but I woke up for some reason and I was just kind of laying there, and right beside me, I heard it first. I heard the bed go kind of, and then it sunk down like someone sat on the bed right next to me, like right where I was laying. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. And then about an hour or so later, the alarm system that's in the kitchen, the brain part of the alarm system, started going off. Not with an alarm, but it was saying something that it has never said before. Like it had lost communication with something. I forgot exactly what it was. And it said, like it was a woman's voice over and over and over and over and over. Never had this happen before. And then it stopped. Well, then like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, it started doing it again. So I
Hmm.
got up to walk in there to see what was going on. And as soon as I opened my bedroom door, it stopped. It didn't do it again.
Hmm.
And so the next day, of course, we saged the house, top to bottom, every room of this house. And nothing's happened since. But, you know, it goes back to tell you that you can inadvertently have things hitchhike with you. Whatever that was, it did. And I think whatever woke me up was the sensation that I knew something was there, but I didn't know something was there, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And then when it sat on the bed, I was like, yes, something's definitely here. And then it started making the alarm system do this crazy thing that it's never done before, multiple times. So, yep, you can bring things home with you, but sometimes these things can just tag along, because when I go into these places, I can't open myself up completely, because you could ask Jason, you could ask my wife. Some places I get sick, and so I can't just open myself completely up to these places. But that's just something that happened here recently to us, just since that last investigation of ours. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I bet. I've had something feel like sat down on the bed with me before.
Mm-hmm.
And night before last, I was laying in the bed, and my daughter had came in there just, to lay down and watch her iPad. But shouldn't have this, but we got a mirror on one wall and a mirror on this wall.
Oh,
And I just thought about this after she said it. She says, I just seen a shadow cross the mirror. I'm like, oh my God, you did not. Shh, get out of here. Yeah. So, I mean, she may have seen it. I didn't press her about it, but could be a shadow in my house. I know I felt something set on the bed, and I've seen stuff out of the corner of my eyes.
So like a shadow type person? Like
Yeah, it was really quick.
Yep.
But it's pretty wild. I like it.
Yeah.
It don't scare me like it used to.
No. Yeah. It's not scary. Thank you, Jason Finch. Susan says when they did Brushy Mountain, Bobby was bombarded with people, and he had to step outside from all the entities. Yeah. I know that sometimes these things happen, and I don't know. Some people I think are just a little more open to it. And I don't think, again, that it's anything special to those people. I think that it's just that, like I told you before, Jason, I was lucky in my life, and I don't know how either. I'm telling you, with how crazy my life was growing up, and the level for the longest time that we were in church, and everything was of the devil, that I wasn't told that, it was the devil trying to talk to me all those years, but I was actually encouraged when I would see ghosts and stuff like that, and was told that it was a gift and everything. I think that's the only reason that I still retain part of that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people grow up and their parents are, oh, you're just seeing things, or it was just a dream, or you've got an overactive imagination, like you was told, right?
Uh-huh.
And most of the time that is not the truth. Baby girl says, nope, gotta have racket. Don't want to hear the walking up and down the hall, or dishes clanking, or the silverware drawer closing. Hopefully overstoked Oscar says, I wasn't afraid of what was happening. I was afraid of my parents. They didn't want to hear it. Gotcha. Baby girl says, at night I have a sound machine playing Rain and a box fan on high.
I run my TV all night. So,
So I grew up, and this is all the way up until I got with my wife. And I've always liked a completely pitch dark room. I don't want any lights whatsoever in my room. I don't want any noises. I want it to be as quiet as I could get it. But since I've been with my wife, she has changed me a bit. Now, I can say that I could still go to sleep much better in a completely quiet environment. But she plays this thunderstorm, black screen thunderstorm stuff on the TV at nighttime when we go to sleep, and it helps her sleep. So I have learned to live with it. Then we don't have curtains on our window upstairs in our bedroom, so that light shines in, from that light we have over here by the garage. So it's like,
well, at my
not
house,
pitch dark.
it's never quiet.
No,
Never. The kids. I hope they're listening. They're either bouncing a ball, playing basketball in the kitchen. It's just stuff like that. So I'm used to noise, though. I like noise when I sleep. I go to sleep better.
See, my wife's that way.
I keep my TV on all night because I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and I watch TV. But I couldn't do complete darkness and no noise.
Baby girl Casper says someone has to snore like a grizzly bear.
Now I can do that. I can suck the ceiling down.
Overly Overstock Coster says, I know, too quiet sound. For me, I don't know. I've always been I want it so quiet that I could hear a pin drop and to be pitch black where I can't see a hand in front of my face. That's the way I've always liked it. And I could just sleep like the dead.
And you want it like 50 degrees.
Yeah, 50 degrees is optimal. I have to deal with 70 now because I have my wife is.
I used to run an air conditioner in the winter.
Yeah.
A window air conditioner.
Hey, I have got my wife to be able to turn on the ceiling fan in our bedroom at nighttime now. So yeah, I do have that at least.
I've got a ceiling fan. I've got a stand-up fan. I've got the TV going. I got a little blue light in the bathroom. And the kids are up all night. They're in there running around, lights on and off all the time. So, but if something bad happens, I do have a little chihuahua that will bark and bark and bark and bark and let me know something's wrong.
Yeah. I have a chihuahua she'll bark twice and then she runs and hides under her bed or my bed. But when it comes to the paranormal stuff, I've always been desensitized to it, I guess, because I've had it happening to me since I was 3. So I guess that's why it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Now,
very true. You can't depend on a cat for nothing. I mean, my cat, the only time I hear it's when it's hungry or when it wants something to eat.
Ours lays right in between Michelle and I now. Jason says he puts on this crackling 4K fireplace from YouTube.
Yeah.
My wife does the thunderstorm, rain and thunderstorm, black screen from YouTube every night.
That would give me a freaking panic attack to hear my own heartbeat and my breathing.
No, so that's how I go to sleep.
That would give me a panic attack.
That's how I go to sleep. I will, and you could ask my wife this. It's hilarious, but I will lay down. I'll find a comfortable spot. I'll close my eyes, and she'll even say it. She could hear my my breathing change because I'll start breathing in and out differently, and then I go poop. I'm out.
She faxes at 3 a.m. her biscuit recipe to somebody.
She does. Freaking cat. So, we've got the fax machine stuff upstairs.
Yeah.
She like 3 nights in a row has jumped on that thing and started hitting buttons, and all of a sudden it's going pink, 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 and making all kinds of crazy sounds.
She thinks it's our toy.
Yeah. Like Michelle said, she's faxing biscuit recipes. um, that's
So
hilarious.
before we get done, I want to talk about some theories of paranormal.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's talk about some theories, because I mean we've talked about a bunch of them over the years.
I know you mentioned residual.
Yeah, I think the biggest portion of what most people have happen is residual type hauntings.
Yeah, and there's theories out there about it. The multiverse theory,
Mm-hmm.
where say our dimension or our universe, multi-universe,
Mm-hmm.
our universe is like a piece of paper and we're stacked with a bunch of other universes in like a stack of paper.
Yep. Just millimeters away from each other.
Sometimes
we could get a glimpse.
It bleeds over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can bleed over into each universe.
Right.
So that's a good.
It is. And then the time slip time thing too, because, you know, we had, what was his name on? First person we talked about, seeing shadow people and stuff like that. What was his name?
Mike Ricksecker.
Yeah, Mike Ricksecker. Thank you. You know, I think it was on the first show that we had Mike Ricksecker on. He talked to us about the fact that he was doing a paranormal investigation at the house or somewhere. And when something happened, it was almost as if it saw them seeing him. So it acted like they were the ghost and it ran. So it's almost like 2 different times have accidentally seen each other. And so you're their ghost that they're seeing and they're your ghost that you're seeing.
Yeah.
It's just that little bleed over, which is very possible.
And as far as in period clothing and stuff like that, and I don't know, does it run consecutively the same?
No, we perceive it linear, but science says that it happens all at the same time. So the past, present, and future is happening simultaneously.
So if you see like a person in old Western attire and like a big bell dress or something, it could be the other universe just bleeding over.
Could be.
But
it could also be
different time. Yep.
Or it could also be just a time slip in your own timeline too. Yeah, absolutely. I think that science even gives for all that. So
I think that's what a lot of these faint apparitions are, just some the bleeding over.
Yeah. Well,
what was that theory we talked about? Your consciousness, when it like when you die in this universe or dimension, whatever, it jumps to the next universe.
Yes.
Your energy.
Yes, that was the quantum.
I can't think of what it was we was talking about. It's got a name.
Hold on 1 second, and I'll tell you. That's sad that we don't even remember the name of our own show. Isn't it? I have to admit it is. But give me a second.
Cheating Death at a Quantum Level.
Yeah,
was the name of the show.
Yeah, and it was talking about how there's a theory out there that when you die, you don't necessarily die. You may die in this reality,
right?
But what is really you disperses into the next reality.
Yeah, because everything you do wrong or right creates a different timeline.
Yes. Every time you make a choice, it creates another timeline. Looking into the no. What's going on in Colorado? That's interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I had a coworker come to me a day or 2 days ago, and she said her husband was like, "Hey, does your coworker know about the aliens that are coming? They're talking about the aliens that are coming and something else." And I'm like, I guess I'm under a rock because I don't know. I said, the only thing I know that everybody's talking about is that 3-eye atlas and stuff. So I don't know if that's what they were talking about or exactly what it was, but I didn't press them any further on it because they weren't the ones asking the questions and they're not really interested in it. So they were just relaying a message, you know what I mean? Um, anybody else say anything?
No, I was trying to find that theory.
Well, I'll tell
name
you
of it.
a great movie that was, to me, is based on that theory. And that was Jet Li the One, where he was a time cop. Actually, not even a time cop. He was a multi-dimensional cop or a multi-universe cop. And the premise of that movie is kind of the same as the premise of what we talked about in that episode. So our consciousness is spread between all of us. So every one of you, every version of you that exists in the multiverse, your consciousness is spread between every single one of these yous. And so if one of you die, it makes the rest of you smarter, stronger, whatever, because your consciousness isn't spread out between as many. And so in that movie, he decided, hey, I'm just going to kill all the rest of me. He goes, how's that killing someone when I'm killing myself?
Right.
And at the end, it was just him and another him. There's 2 left in the whole universe, all the multiverse. But so it was a pretty good premise of the movie, but I think it's kind of the same premise as far as when you die, you don't necessarily die. I mean, to everybody else around you, that body is dead. But what makes you moves into the next.
Yeah. And you get stronger.
And
that's the multi-world.
Yeah, the multi-worlds theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or the many worlds.
Yeah.
Many worlds interpretation. So
yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah. It was very deep.
So I think a lot of those so-called demons and, things that haven't walked on this earth do come from other dimensions, possibly. And what we have in our plane of existence, totally different than what that other piece of paper may have in theirs.
Yes.
They could have all kinds of stuff, some weird stuff like we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. Over the Overstoke says, I did notice how everyone described the thing without saying it was a saucer shape. Yes. Sounds like the multiverse. It is, Arcane discovers it is a type of multiverse, multi-worlds theory. Yeah, it definitely is. On what you was talking about though, Jason, when it comes to, we've had these discussions a few times, and I think, again, look, I'm not knocking on anybody's religion or beliefs, whatever it is that you believe. I have theories of my own just from all of my research that I've done. And then I try to bring in some science in it too, because we know that multi-dimensions are real, right?
Yeah.
And we do know that a 2-dimensional being doesn't perceive the 3-dimensional being or the 4-dimensional being or anything higher, right? So anything higher than you in the dimensional chain can look down on you like a rabbit in a cage, or a fish in an aquarium.
I think that's how Michio
Kaku
said, like a fish in an aquarium.
Yep. Yeah. And he says that because they're not aware of anything outside of that water, right? You go tap on the glass and they're going to react to it, of course, but they only know that at certain times, for some reason, this food just appears on the water and goes down to them. But they're, every once in a while, maybe if you're cleaning it out, crazy things come in, right? So they're getting abducted and stuff. Um, you know,
Something's falling from the sky.
that's it. This big green thing keeps scooping me up and putting me in another bowl until I later on get put back in my bowl, right? And all of a sudden the green stuff is gone.
The cryptid fish net.
That's it. That's it. But I believe that a lot of these entities that come here, and I think that maybe even the Hat Man or any of these, shadow beings fall into this category. And this is just, just us talking between friends. But I think a lot of these entities fall into that same category. And I think that when people talk about possession, I think it falls into that same category because I believe that, like, we have ticks here that, will get on you and start sucking your blood, right? Mm-hmm. They're a parasite. Well, what would a 6th dimensional parasite look like to us? Or a 7th or an 8th or 20th or whatever other dimension? What would it look like to us? How would it inhabit us? How would it change us? What would it do? We don't know. It's all speculation, but we definitely know that parasites exist because they exist on this level of existence. So why would not parasites exist on other levels of existence? And then what would that 6th dimensional parasite need? Does it need that fear, that hate, that these things that it tries to draw out of people? Is that what it feeds on? Maybe. I mean, again, this is all speculation, but I think it's just as speculative as anything else that's out there. But science could be more rooted in it. And we do live in a little bit more scientific age.
You could go on and on with that.
Forever. Forever, yeah.
That it brought to mind for me the civilization, the 1, 2, 3 civilizations.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you could just keep going with it and keep going with it.
You could.
And talk about it forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we think that a dead family member or loved one can follow you no matter where you go?
Yep.
I do.
Yep. And I think that sometimes when family members decide to stick around is because they want to A, help you. B, maybe they're afraid that they left you in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And they want to be around for you emotionally and spiritually. And sometimes, the best thing that we can do as loved ones is to let them go, tell them thank you, and tell them to go on to the next thing. Because there's nothing that says that whenever they get to that next place, they can't still come and visit you. They're just not stuck here doing it.
I'm a true believer in, I don't know if you would call them guardian angels or, things like that. But I do believe that there's people or things watching us. Maybe our loved ones are watching us and sometimes giving us a little nudge to do the right thing. And things like that.
Yep. Arcane Discovery says, "Oh Lord, I do believe that. Ever since my uncle died, when I'm driving, like we used to do a lot, I smell the cigarettes he used to smoke." Yes. And that's a lot of times you will hear things like that where people will say that this perfume that my grandmother wore, or, cigarettes, or a certain pipe tobacco, or just these, the cologne my grandfather used to wear, for some reason it would just pop up, out of nowhere. And again, speculation. But I really do believe, because that's something that happens to so many people. I think that's their way of saying, hey, I'm here.
I'm okay.
You're okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. And Everything's okay. And I think that sometimes it's also a way for them to let you understand that, hey, you know, I'm not suffering. I'm not, you know, in any of this stuff, and it's okay. See, overly overstoked Oscars, my mom's perfume, yes. And see, this is the things that you hear a lot of in this field, with people talking about dead loved ones coming and visited them. You know, a lot of people will have profound dreams, and I do believe that they will come and visit you in your dreams sometime. If I'm not mistaken, my wife has had several pretty profound dreams about her grandmother. You know, and so I believe that they, if even if it's not um something we do, because you know, a lot of times when people we love die, we hold on. We don't let them go. And they're constantly in our thoughts. And look, it's okay for them to be in our thoughts, but we're always, I just want to see you one more time. I want this, I want that. And sometimes it's those things that keep these people here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. See, Michelle still do. And so it's because as long as we're in these meat suits, we have a hard time of letting these things go.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but it needs to happen. You need to let go. You need to let go of these people. And it's not saying that, you know, you don't love them, you don't want them around, but you need to let them go. And it's not saying that they won't never come and visit you again. Not that you won't never get those experiences of smelling their perfumes or their cigarettes or any of these things, but you're telling them the same thing they're trying to tell you, right? You're telling them, I love you and I don't want to be the reason I'm keeping you here.
Right. Let me tell you what happened to me when my mom died. Before she died, she had bought the kids I probably told you this before. She bought the kids like a play set, a swing set, is wooden, real nice. And I put it up long after she had gone. Maybe 6 months later, I put it up in the at the house. No quicker than I got it put up, kids was going to play on it. And my mom always liked butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
There was I bet there was at least 10 yellow butterflies all over that thing, just flying around it.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen yellow butterflies that whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think she was there and
She
watching and seeing what, you know,
Yes.
watching the kids play on it.
Yes.
And it gave me a real good feeling,
Right.
that she's okay.
Yes. And I think that's what that means, right? I'm good. I'm okay. Don't worry about me, you know? Absolutely.
Before we get off here, Jason Finch said he believed all of us as humans and all of our animals all go to the same place, same
Absolutely.
heaven. I believe that.
Absolutely. You know, anybody that's a true animal lover, that has animals, I will tell you, they're not lifeless beings
No.
by any means. Baby dogs, she dreams. She'll make these weird noises too. It's really funny. She'll be dreaming sometimes, and it'll sound like, you know what the sound like when water drips. It goes. She'll start making that noise, just sleeping, and then she'll start running and like she's chasing something, right? And making noises, and you could hear her running in her bed and stuff. There's no way you can't tell me she ain't dreaming. Yeah. Whatever it was, she's chasing a rabbit or a ball or something, but she's doing something in her sleep.
Yeah, I don't know if it happened before we domesticated animals or after, but you can tell the animals do have emotion. I really believe my dogs, cats,
they do.
And I've watched gorillas and apes. They really have an emotion, a sense of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really believe that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Not to say they might have a soul. They could. maybe a little different way, but
Right.
something's there for
Oh,
them.
they're
Definitely energy.
yeah, they're. I mean, not to say it, in the generic term, they're alive, but they have being to them, 100%. And I think that when they pass, they too can come back. And there's a lot of people who say that they have had their dogs and cats and stuff come back.
Yeah, and seen them.
Yeah. I swear, and Michelle know this, my wife will know this, but it's not been but about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. I think I saw Mocha Loca twice. And I was going, holy smokes, It was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, animals, a fact. I can't be convinced that they don't go when they shed their bodies, that energy does not go somewhere else. The same as ours.
Right.
So absolutely.
Steven says cars too have their own attitude.
They do. That's why we all call them names, right?
Inanimate objects could be they could be a conduit for something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I don't think a car, when it dies, it don't go to heaven. I don't think its spirit travels on. Do you?
No. I don't think it probably doesn't have a spirit. Yeah. Oh yeah, Arcane Discovery said, just like the story of Jeffrey and Blue that are still roaming around because their bond is so deep. Absolutely.
Yeah, cats do have a different sense.
It's weird because sometimes you'll just see them staring at a corner. Just sitting there staring. There's nothing there.
Unless I think they might be looking for rats.
Not in the corner. Because even ours, sometimes she'll just sit there and she'll just start staring. And I'll tell you what's funny about ours is that she has started at nighttime when we go to bed. She'll come in a little bit later sometimes, but she sleeps right between the wife and I. And she looks down towards the foot of the bed the whole time. Hearing bugs move around, that's very possible too.
I would be freaked out.
Yeah.
If my cat done that, because my cat don't do nothing but hide. Well,
Yeah.
I've seen it kill mice.
Right.
It won't eat them, but it'll kill them.
That's what she does.
Well, when you wake up of a morning, it'll have you one laying there with it'll be like nothing but its head there. Then part of it'll be somewhere else.
Huh.
It's crazy.
She brings them a whole, but they're dead.
I've seen some pretty ruthless.
Overly overstoked tosser says my cats try to push me off the bed.
How big is that cat?
It's a mountain lion.
Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's been a great show.
Yes, thank you.
Talking.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime. If y'all would like another show like this where we just BS and talk and everything, definitely let us know in the chat and everything, because I actually enjoyed it. This was fun. Nothing written, nothing to have to follow, no notes, no nothing, just talking.
Right.
Jason says, absolutely. Yes. See? Already got thumbs up.
Even if you don't believe in the paranormal, it's good if you would, because, it could.
Oh, yes. Let's chat about aliens next over there. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Next Thursday? Alien chat?
Could be, yeah.
Why not?
If we don't go anywhere.
Yeah. If we don't do a live investigation, let's do the next one about aliens. Absolutely.
Remember, this Saturday we got Throughlis Draconis Hanus.
Yeah, he'll be doing some card reading again
Yeah,
for us, right?
free tarot readings for all of you people that call in. And we're going to have the phone line open for you to call, and we hope everybody joins us and calls in. It'd be a good time to get your free reading.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a free reading? What's awesome is that he has like so many different decks.
Yes.
And then he'll tell you to pick a deck and everything.
He's got like 100 decks, and you pick a number.
Yeah.
And that number, he goes to it.
That deck.
To that deck.
Yeah, it's awesome. I do too. Over the Overstoked Oscars, my wife's got several decks, and I will give myself a reading at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
On some weeks, I do it every morning before I go to work.
Hey, Stephen, we do need to get you on the show one Saturday for these videos you sent us, and let's talk about them.
Yes, and we need to go and do a investigation.
When you get a Saturday free, just let us know, because after this Saturday we're free for a little bit, except for 3 dates in October. Yeah. November we're free.
Yeah. October we've got, well, one's on a Thursday. One of our talks at the UT is on a Thursday. And then we've got the talk in the Knoxville Library. What is that, on the 11th?
11th.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be on the 25th, we're going to be at Misfits and Mayhem here in Loudon.
Yeah, if you're in the local area and you want to stop by and say hey to us, we'll be set up there in Loudon, downtown Loudon area.
We're going to be sporting our new books.
Yes, we got 3 books now, everybody.
All 4, actually 4.
All of them are live. Well, 4. Yeah, that's right. You brought
I brought the edition 1 back out on Amazon. So
so we have edition 1, edition 2.
Yep.
Oh man, I didn't put that in my notes.
Oh, it's all right.
I don't have edition 1 in my notes.
We thank everybody though for watching us, and we hope that you subscribe to YouTube, because we need subscribers and we need watch hours.
Yeah.
So YouTube is the place to watch if you can. Yeah,
it definitely helps us out. The watch hours on YouTube and everything. And we really appreciate it. Everybody that spends their time with us and everything. We can't do it without you. And if we tried, it would be very boring.
Yeah.
So
subscribe, like, and enjoy.
Yes. Thank you.
Remember,
you can paranormal411.org, Paranormal411 on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Tune in live every Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also from Saturdays to 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, also on Saturday nights from 10 to 11, if you're in the metro Atlanta area, you catch us on WDJY-FM. That's 99.1 FM. For listeners outside of Atlanta, you go to WDJYFM.com, or you click the link on our website. We're also on Subspace Radio on all major podcast platforms. Remember, we have a few books out now, like Jason was saying, East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore, edition 1 and 2. We also have our new books, A Comprehensive Guide to Paranormal Investigations and The Haunted Ledger, which are all available on Amazon, or you go to paranormal411.org and get them there.
Oh, yeah.
Join us.
Yeah, we'll see you Saturday.
Jason says he loves the Indian show music. Thank you, baby girl Casper. Yeah. Well, we really appreciate y'all for being part of the chat and everything. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It really helps, and I really enjoy talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows? What secrets the night hides? What strange phenomena might be happening just beyond your perception? Join us as we journey into the world of the paranormal, exploring everything from ghosts and UFOs to cryptids and unexplained occurrences. From haunted houses to all things paranormal, join us in the search for the truth behind the veil. Welcome to Paranormal 411.